Breaking news coming in at this hour. In major development, the Assam CID has now arrested Zubeen Garg's long-time aide and his bandmate Shekhar Jyoti Goswami and his female co-singer. Today, after questioning them for past couple of days in connection to the probe into Zubeen Garg's death in Singapore on September 19, this information is coming in as part of the sources that we have for you on NDTV. My colleague Ratnadeep Chaudhary, who has accessed this detail, is also joining me on the broadcast. Ratnadeep, do highlight the role of these two in the death of Assam's icon Zubeen Garg.
Well, these two individuals who have been now arrested by the Special Investigation Team of Assam CID, which is probing this case on the circumstances that led to Zubeen Garg's death on September 19 in Singapore. Now, his bandmate Shekhar Jyoti Goswami, who has been a close aide of Zubeen Garg for over a decade, he was present there with him. He had travelled with him, and he was there not only in his hotel but also in the yacht party. And the videos of that day, just before the incident, also shows that Shekhar was swimming very close to Zubeen Garg. He was actually questioned for the last 6 days, and after this, the CID felt that he has to be taken in custody to get more information and also to corroborate facts that he has given in a statement with that of the key accused, the festival organizer Shyam Kanu Mahanta, and more so the statements given by Zubeen's manager Siddhartha Sharma. Also, the fourth person who has been arrested is Amrit Prabha Mahanta, the female co-singer who travelled with Zubeen Garg. She was also in the yacht party, and what SIT sources have given us to understand that the videos that have gone viral on social media of the incident, much of those videos were shot by Amrit Prabha. Then she gave it to other people. So her role is being questioned. So therefore, the SIT feels that along with Mahanta, Shyam Kanu Mahanta and Siddharth Sharma, now these two people who were part of the team that went with Zubeen Garg, not only from Guwahati to Singapore, but they were staying in the same hotel, and they were also, Shekhar Jyoti Goswami and Amrit Prabha were part of the yacht party. So they needs to be further investigated under custody.
Right. Thank you so much, Ratnadeep, for joining us while several questions remain unanswered in Zubeen Garg death probe case. More breaking news coming in at this hour, and this time unfortunate news coming in from Madhya Pradesh. Two separate accidents during the immersion of goddess Durga idols in Madhya Pradesh left at least 13 people dead, including 8 girls in Khandwa district. A tractor trolley packed with devotees broke a railing and fell into the Chambal river, after which these deaths have been reported. My colleague is also joining me with more details, but first take a look at the reactions coming in.
दुखद घटना हुई है जिसमें बादल फाटा गांव जो यहाँ से करीब 5 किलोमीटर दूर है, वहाँ के लोग एक ट्रैक्टर से आ रहे थे विसर्जन करने के लिए, और एक जो मुख्य मार्ग है उस पे पानी था। संभवतः ड्राइवर को भान नहीं था कि यहाँ पे ज्यादा पानी है। ट्रैक्टर वहाँ कहीं न कहीं वो वहाँ पे अनियंत्रित हुआ, जिसके कारण ट्रैक्टर ट्राली पलट गई, जिसके कारण ट्राली में बैठे हुए जो सभी सवारी थी वो अंदर गिर गए थे।
And my colleague Anurag Dwari is also joining me over the broadcast on the phone line. Anurag, who is to be blamed for this tragedy?
Well, first of all, one more update that at least 14 people died in different, Durga Puja idol immersion related mishaps in Khandwa, Ujjain and Shahdol, while at least 11 villagers drowned when a tractor trolley carrying a Durga idol plunged into a pond in Pandhana area in Khandwa. in Jamli village also a tractor trolley carrying a Durga idol and also boarded by 20 to 25 villagers, mostly children and women from Rajgarh village, lost balance and overturned into the pond cum small dam of the water resource department. And the police officials there are saying that so far 11 bodies have been retrieved, and rescue and search teams of SDRF are searching for more people inside the pond. 3 persons who were rescued alive are also stated to be critical at the hospital. And an out of control DJ vehicle which formed a part of idol immersion procession ran over another immersion procession, killing a 30-year-old man, Ramdev Chauhan, and injuring 4 others in Gohapura area of Shahdol, where Shubham Gond and Hanumant Lal were also swept away in Ujjain, while 4 persons were bathing in the river. A 12-year-old boy who was seated on the tractor on the bridge, he suddenly started the tractor with the keys, after which the vehicle along with the boy plunged into the river.
Right. Thank you so much, Anurag, for joining us. The death toll has been revised. Viewers, 14 people have died in this unfortunate incident. That was my colleague Anurag giving us more details. Thank you. Shifting our focus to the political stories that are coming in, Congress MP and leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi's anti-India rant has now landed the Congress party in trouble. Rahul Gandhi, while speaking abroad, has launched a fresh salvo, saying India's democracy is under attack from all sides and warning that the biggest threat to India comes from within. From drawing parallels with China to alleging that voices are being suppressed, Rahul's remarks have set off a political storm. The BJP, it calls it a rant against India on foreign soil and saying that the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi are habitual of such calls. Take a look at the reactions coming in.
The single biggest risk is the attack on democracy that is taking place in India. Because India has multiple religions, multiple traditions, multiple languages, and India actually is a conversation between all its people. And different traditions, different religions, different ideas require space.
मोदी जी के ऊपर तो आप झूठे आरोपों की झड़ी लगाते हैं पूरे हिंदुस्तान में घूम घूम करके। तो लोकतंत्र में तो आपको एक प्रकार से गाली देने का अधिकार दे रखा है हिंदुस्तान ने, और आप कह रहे हैं लोकतंत्र नहीं है। यहां पर आप राहुल गांधी सब कुछ बेबुनियाद बेशरम भरी बातें करते हैं भारत के खिलाफ, भारत में, और विदेश में कहते हैं कि भारत में बोलने की आजादी नहीं है।
देखिए, ही इज अ डिसग्रेस। ये जानते हैं सब कि वो देश को हर जगह बदनाम करने का, देश की निंदा करने के लिए, देश की आलोचना, मैं ये सरकार की नहीं कह रही, देश की निंदा। अगर वो कह रहे हैं कि लोग यहाँ पे झगड़ालू हैं, लोग यहाँ पे जो हैं वो ईमानदार नहीं हैं, जो भारत के लोग हैं वो उनको पता नहीं है अपने हमारे लिए क्या अच्छा, वो वोट जो देते हैं उनका दिमाग काम नहीं करता, तो इसलिए जो है किसी और को आके यहाँ पे डेमोक्रेसी बचानी चाहिए, ये सब बातों से वो ये दिखाते हैं कि भारत के लोग जो हैं वो बुद्धिहीन है, वो यही कहना चाहते हैं ना। तो खैर, दैट्स व्हाई आई कॉल हिम अ डिसग्रेस। ही वो जो है देश को शर्मिंदा करते हैं हमेशा, और देश भी उनसे शर्मिंदा है।
Addressing the RSS celebrations in Nagpur, RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat delivered a strongly worded message. Bhagwat cautioned against violent protests, saying no political revolution has truly achieved its goal through unrest. He also flagged unrest in neighboring countries as a worrying trend, stressing that real change must come peacefully and constructively. He also weighed on foreign powers which are active in India and outside India. Take a look at exactly what he said.
प्राकृतिक उथल पुथल है तो जनजीवन में भी उथल पुथल दिख रही है। श्रीलंका में, बाद में बांग्लादेश में, बाद में नेपाल में, हमारे पड़ोसी देशों में भी हमने इसका अनुभव किया। अब कभी कभी हो जाता है, प्रशासन जनता के पास नहीं रहता, संवेदनशील नहीं रहता, लोकाभिमुख नहीं रहता, उनकी जनता की अवस्थाओं को ध्यान में रखकर नीतियां नहीं बनती तो असंतोष रहता है, परंतु उस असंतोष को इस प्रकार व्यक्त होना ये किसी के लाभ की बात नहीं है।
And Mohan Bhagwat's remarks have caused a political storm with Congress reacting and saying that this is an unfortunate terror organization that is being glorified by the central government, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In fact, Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has also hit out at RSS over the coin and stamp launch to mark its 100 years. Kerala CM said that the launch was an insult to Constitution. Take a look at the reactions.
ഇസ്രായേലിനോട് വല്ലാത്ത മമതയല്ലേ? വളരെ ഹീനമായ ഭാഷയിൽ പാലസ്തീനെയും പാലസ്തീൻ ജനതയെയും ആക്രമിക്കാൻ തയ്യാറായ ഇസ്രായേൽ മന്ത്രിയെ ഇവിടെ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് ചർച്ച നടത്തി അദ്ദേഹവുമായി കരാർ ഒപ്പിടാൻ ബിജെപി ഗവൺമെന്റ് തയ്യാറായില്ലേ? ഇത് ബിജെപി കാണിക്കുന്നതിൽ ആശ്ചര്യമില്ല. കാരണം ഇസ്രായേലിലെ സിയോണിസ്റ്റും ഇവിടുത്തെ ആർഎസ്എസും ഇരട്ടപ്പെട്ട സഹോദരങ്ങളാണ്.
कांग्रेस कहती है आरएसएस आतंकी संगठन है। कांग्रेस पार्टी तो नक्सलियों को शहीद मानती है। कांग्रेस पार्टी अफजल को बेचारा मानती है। कांग्रेस पार्टी याकूब जैसे आतंकियों के लिए पैरवी करती है। कांग्रेस पार्टी आंसू टपका टपका कर बाटला हाउस के आतंकियों के लिए रोती है। जिनके लिए आतंकी शहीद और पोस्टर बॉय और हीरो है, उनके लिए राष्ट्रभक्त संगठन आरएसएस तो इसी प्रकार से वो देखेंगे उसको, क्योंकि उनका चश्मा वोट नीति का है, राष्ट्र नीति का नहीं। अभी 2 दिन पहले उदित राज जी नक्सलियों को जस्टिफाई कर रहे थे, कह रहे थे एक्सप्लॉइट होते इसलिए नक्सली बन जाते हैं। ये वही कांग्रेस की मानसिकता है जो झूठ और दुष्प्रचार पर पिछले 100 वर्षों से प्रयत्न कर रही है आरएसएस को समाप्त करने का।
In some good news for India and China, after a gap of nearly 5 years, India and China flights can start from next month, which is October. MEA said in a press statement. The statement added that the decision to resume flights will be subjected to commercial decision of the designated carriers of the two countries and fulfillment of all operational criteria. This major breakthrough comes after Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Chinese President Xi Jinping in Tianjin. My colleague Vishnu Shom gets us more details. Take a look.
Within minutes of the government announcing the resumption of direct air services between India and China by the end of the month, Indigo has already jumped into the fray, announcing that their first direct flights between Delhi and Guangzhou and then Kolkata and Guangzhou will commence on the 26th of October. Remember, the commencement of direct flights between India and China marks a very important step up in the relationship between the two countries, the two most populous in the world, the second largest economy in the world and the fourth largest economy in the world. Direct air services between India and China had stopped when COVID happened, and shortly after that there was the Galwan crisis and deteriorating relations between the two sides. But with the Prime Minister having met President Xi in Tianjin recently and with an effort at trying to normalize the situation on the boundary, economic ties are set to grow, particularly with air travel being resumed. So the 26th of this month is when Indigo starts direct flights between India and China. Remember, for the last several years, those wanting to travel to Chinese cities would had to have travelled, for example, to Bangkok or to Singapore or to Hong Kong to get connections to other Chinese centres. That will now change with the resumption of direct services.
And on that good note, we are slipping into a very short break, but don't go anywhere. More news lined up on the other side. Now to news coming in from the United Kingdom, where a stabbing attack outside a synagogue in Manchester has left 2 people dead. The incident took place during Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar. Police have now declared the deadly attack a terror attack. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has held an emergency security meeting, ordering extra police to be deployed at the area across the country, and said UK must defeat rising anti-Semitic hate. In fact, India has also reacted, condemning this terror attack in UK. Listen in to the reactions coming in.
On Yom Kippur, the holiest day for the Jewish community, a vile individual committed a terrorist attack. And while this is not a new hate, this is something Jews have always lived with, we must be clear. It is a hatred that is rising once again, and Britain must defeat it. And so I promise you that I will do everything in my power to guarantee you the security that you deserve, starting with a more visible police presence protecting your community. I promise you that over the coming days, you will see the other Britain, the Britain of compassion, of decency, of love.
This attack has been officially declared as a terrorist incident, and the investigation is now being led by counter-terrorist police. As has been confirmed by CT policing, we believe that the identity of the offender has been established. In addition, I can confirm that 2 other individuals have been arrested in connection with this incident, and urgent inquiries are ongoing. We can confirm that 2 members of our Jewish community have sadly died as a result of this attack.
As soon as I heard shots, I did say, "Oh my God, that are shots."
Yeah.
Then we heard plenty of sirens. I mean, it's horrifying. It is horrifying. Unfortunately, in the last year, we've witnessed a whole load of terror and attacks against the Jewish people.
I heard bang bang, and then we heard the helicopters, we heard the sirens. But you hear sirens every day because we're around the corner from the hospital. But then we heard it was gunshot and there'd been a terrorist attack in the synagogue.
And my colleague Disha Bagchi is joining me from the newsroom. Disha, walk us through the details.
Right. So what we know so far is, of course, the police have now declared this mass stabbing incident in Manchester as a terror attack, and they have arrested 2 people, while the main suspect was shot dead just minutes into that incident. And now some of the details that we have now been able to confirm is that this suspect, in fact, drove his car into some people who were entering the synagogue while prayers were going on. And in fact, eyewitnesses even say that there were certain people who were able to hold him down, and in fact the suspect was wearing certain explosive device on him and had intentions to create a mass sort of terror attack that was aimed at hurting the Jewish community. Now, as we know that today was a very important holy day for the Jewish community, Yom Kippur, and the fact that this incident did take place today highlights a growing, rising anti-Semitic hatred towards the Jewish community in Europe, in England. In fact, data shows that these kind of hate crime and these kind of anti-Semitic attacks in England has doubled in the past year. So really now UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, we saw that soundbite where he has said that he is going to increase deployment of police across the country, across synagogues and Jewish communities to ensure that these kind of incidents remain under control. And the investigation is now underway in this attack. We are yet to understand what the motive was behind this attack, but it was definitely an attack against the Jewish community.
Right. Thank you so much, Disha, for joining us with those details. And leaving you with the pictures of Dussehra being celebrated with great pomp and show across the nation, with effigies of Ravan being burnt in almost every state. This day marks the victory of good over evil.
भगवान राम ने रावण की नाभि में तीर मार दिया और रावण